Okay, video 2. Now that we know that we find our traits on our chromosomes, specifically inside little chunks of DNA, and we know that once again, we get a chromosome from mom, a chromosome from dad, and you get a trait from each of them. Now we have different types of traits. You have 2. You're either dominant, this is the strong trait, the one we see, things like brown eyes, and the recessive trait. This is a trait that's there, but you don't get to see it very often. This would be like blue eyes or red hair. So a dominant allele, if we look at here, a dominant one, like down here, like this orange one, could mean that mom is giving you the trait for brown eyes, while dad is giving you the trait for blue eyes. Dominant means stronger. So the brown-eyed trait is stronger, and it's going to cover up that blue-eyed trait, so you're not going to get to see it. So once again, dominant means stronger and covers up the recessive. So it's important to remember that in what we call Mendelian genetics, the type we're doing now, you really don't get halfway stuff. It's either all or nothing. So in this case, dad has the brown eyes, which are dominant. Mom has blue eyes. You don't end up with hazel eyes. You end up with brown because the brown is stronger and covers up the blue. You will learn later about non-Mendelian genetics, and that's when you get hazel and light brown and things like that. It happens, obviously, we all see around us. But right now we're dealing just with the basics. Dominant covers up the recessive. That means every time you combine mom and dad, you can have 3 different ways to make your genes. In this case, mom gave you a dominant trait. Dad gave you a dominant trait. These are both the same. In the last video, we talked about how homozygous would mean the same. Or mom can give you recessive. Dad can give you recessive. They're both the same. And the third way is heterozygous, meaning things that are different. Mom gives you dominant, dad gives you recessive. Notice that we use the same symbol or the same letter in this case to represent the same trait. So mom gave us the dominant, dad gave us dominant. They're both going to be, in this case, R. Mom gave you recessive, dad gave you recessive. In this case, they're both R. Mom gave you dominant, dad gave you recessive. They're all R. You can see over here in this example too. Both are T, T, big T, little t. So the only thing that changes is the size of the T, not specifically what letter we're using. Now that we know our different traits, whether they're homozygous or heterozygous, or dominant or recessive, we're going to be able to combine those using something we call a Punnett square. And that's going to help us figure out why you look like you or why you do what you do kind of things. Remember some of the things we want to review. Homozygous means 2 traits that are the same. Mom and dad gave you the same alleles. Homozygous, the same alleles. And then you have heterozygous, 2 that are different. So this could be like big T trait, big T trait. Where over here, it could mean like big B, little b. So heterozygous means 2 are different. Homozygous means 2 are the same. In our next video, we're going to go over Punnett squares, which is where we're going to combine what mom and dad gave you to figure out why you look like you.